Hey, what's up, everyone? Got the corroded coin blues and you just don't know what to do? Well, I have a few examples here that we're going to take a look. I'll show you exactly what's treatable and what's not. Plus, we're also going to discuss the fine line between actual coin cleaning and an acceptable conservation. So, stay tuned. Welcome back to Blue Ridge Silverhound. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday evening. And yes, the train is rolling, a new week. And we're going to talk about something that I haven't talked about in probably 6-7 years. And that is an acetone dip and trying to treat a couple coins that have clearly PVC and corrosion damage. We're going to take a look at a few examples here. We're going to discuss what is deemed an acceptable amount of PVC that you could treat and which coins are just way too far gone to even bother. In addition, we are also going to look at the, well, it's a kind of a touchy subject with a lot of people, okay? You don't clean coins, okay? It's just plain and simple. Why do it? Is an acetone dip a cleaning process? Well, it depends on how you do it. There is a correct way of doing it, and there's an incorrect way of managing this stuff. So first and foremost, if you ever decide to quote unquote dip a coin, the acceptable method of doing so to where it's not termed as cleaning in the coin community is to go by the polarity ladder. Okay, so we're going to start out number one with distilled water. Okay, so you want to use the purest form of water. That's not going to have any sort of water spots. It's not going to react to the metals of the coins that you're dipping, so on and so forth. So if you're unable to knock any dirt loose or anything like that, then you'll want to move on to hardware grade acetone. Ironically, this bottle right here can be purchased at Walmart, okay? And there are a few things that you need to know as you go and purchase this and using it. And the same with the final type of cleaning agent or dipping agent, rather, is xylene, which is also available at the hardware store. That stuff is more potent and more powerful. So with the pure acetone, okay, there are a few things that you have to keep in mind. All right, number one, you want to make sure, again, you get the hardware strength type. Okay, now this one says it can be used for nail polish removal, gel polish, things of that nature. But on the reverse, and you see here, it's 100% pure acetone. You want to make sure that you purchase the variety that has no other fillers or chemicals like fragrances, things of that nature. Because what you're going to find is those agents are going to react to the metal, okay? And they'll react more to nickel and copper and possibly silver. So you want to be careful. And what kind of reaction are we talking about? Well, if you use acetone at all on copper pennies, that's really walking a fine line, because especially if your intention is to dip a bright red uncirculated penny with a little gunk on there, a little bit of this green verdigris or PVC, as what it's called in the business. You might be able to get that verdigris off. However, where the spot of corrosion is, it's going to be a dark brown tone anyways. So depending on the coin, you may just leave it alone, or you could possibly perhaps send it off to a conservation service. There's one that is actually owned by NGC Grading called NCS. They can also take care of that for you more professionally. Okay, so if you're in the middle of submitting a coin for grading, they could take care of that for you. If there's nothing they could do, they'll let you know. Okay, it's real simple. So with pure acetone and xylene, you want to make sure that you're in a well-ventilated area. As a matter of fact, I have a window open here right next to me, and it feels like 50 degrees in the house right now. So it's probably not the ideal time to do it. It was about 65 earlier in the day, really nice weather. So you want to make sure you're well ventilated wherever your workspace is. Do not do this in a closet or in a small workspace, okay? Just don't, because you'll get woozy, you get nerve damage, things of that nature. Number two, okay, minors under the age of 18 should not be using this at all without having an adult or a parent around, okay, to go through the step process of using this stuff, okay? So if you're under 18, do not use this stuff at all. But please consult in, a parent or a guardian or whoever, and they will help you along with this, okay? Because this stuff is potent. So now comes the question, before we go ahead and treat a couple coins and then showing off a few items here that have corrosion and PVC and verdigris on it, you absolutely must know the difference between what I'm doing here, which is called quote unquote conservation, and cleaning, okay? Cleaning in a nutshell is you're doing irreparable harm to a coin by using some sort of friction type of cleaning methods, okay? So if you, for example, take this buffalo nickel here and you decide, oh, you know what, I'm gonna use a mild soap and a toothbrush to sit there and scrub off the coin, okay? It's gonna create hairlines. That's cleaning. Or if you take, like, say, a little polish cloth with some silver cleaner, okay, and you sit there and you scrub it, and you're doing this and applying friction, you're also gonna create damage on the coin. Some people, back in grade school, will take a pencil eraser and sit there and they'll erase on a penny. I don't know if you guys remember doing that trick, but it makes a coin look bright, shiny, and new. However, oh yeah, more hairlines, more damage, cause long-term destruction of value on your coins. So it's important to know the difference between, the various types of what they call, or the fine line rather, of cleaning and conservation. So what's the difference in what I'm doing? Okay, that's probably something that you guys are probably thinking about. Okay, and it's like, well, he's cleaning. Well, no, I am simply doing a dip. All right, a dip means that there's going to be no friction put onto the coin. I'm not going to sit there with a toothbrush or a wire brush or a Dremel, for crying out loud, to make the coin look better. Okay, what I'm simply trying to do is remove something that is on the surface, a surface contaminant, and not affect the original surface or the patina of the coin. By the way, if you use acetone to dip your silver coins with amazing toning, guess what, fellas? It does nothing to the original toning. However, it will remove the foreign matter that is on the coin. Dust, various dirt particles, the PVC, which, it comes from old flips and holders that smell like shower curtains. You get the big idea. So, in terms of coins that are far beyond repair, here's an 1818 large cent, which, as you can see, the surface has kind of a greenish appearance. This one obviously has PVC in some of these deepest devices and crevices of the coin. Okay, this is possibly an old Doug coin, but I firmly believe that this coin was even put into a PVC type flip or holder, or a 2x2, possibly even an album. If you look right here, see these little green spots all in this little pocket right here, where it's obviously had some degrading going on as a result of this coin being possibly a Doug coin, environmentally damaged. This is a type of stuff that will eat away at the coin. Okay, so this stuff, is very, very cancerous to your collectible coins. So you want to make sure that, number one, your coins are housed in a holder that is acid-free, that is PVC-free. These are just a few of the things that you could use to safeguard your collection. You might spend a few extra pennies more on these supplies, but fellas and ladies, it is absolutely worth it, and it's paramount that you do so. So this is a coin because of all the pitting and the damage and then the PVC that is hard encrusted on this little area here and in some of the devices. This coin is not a candidate for any sort of dip. Water, acetone, nor xylene will make any difference on this coin whatsoever. You're better off taking this coin and just putting it into a flip, enjoying it for what it is. It has a ton of history, okay? So it's been buried in the ground at some point in its lifetime. Who knows what kind of stories this coin can tell. But that is not a good candidate, all right? So let's talk about another coin here that is pretty close. And I'm going to attempt to improve the look of this coin. So this is a 1913. This was, by the way, last week, I went through a roll of Buffalo nickels I paid $17 for. This beauty of a coin, which is a 1913 Type 2, so it's not on the raised mound. It's got this flat mound here with the defining line above 5 cents, and it is a D. Okay, this is one of the earlier key dates for this particular series. Okay, this coin in this condition, which appears to be like an XF condition example, is right around $125. A coin in which I paid 50 cents for. Okay, so herein lies the problem with this particular example. As you can see, there are a few pockets of verdigris and PVC, which look like it's eaten away into the coin and possibly has done enough damage that it may not be reversible. But here's the thing, I'm an optimist. I'm going to attempt to dip this into that acetone right there. And usually any of the surface type of green gunk or PVC or verdigris will be removed with this rinse here. So typically with a coin like this, you'll want to rinse it, not rinse, but you'll want to dip it into a container with acetone for about 5 to 10 minutes. The longer you go with this sort of rinse, it's not going to do anything else. It's not going to damage anything. It's not going to strip away the patina. It's not going to do anything like that for nickel, which is good. So I am going to try this coin. We'll see a before and after. Obviously, this is the before look on the coin. And then we'll take a look at what it looks like afterwards, after its 10-minute dip, okay? So the primo coin that we are going to test on is the Planchet Error 1938D Buffalo nickel. If I turn the coin just so like this, so that way the light kind of just shears right off or fluffs right off the top of the coin, you'll see that most of the coin is covered in PVC. This was a coin that was probably in an old flip, all right? And it did this kind of coating here where it's not damaging the coin yet, but it makes it known on the surface. And it kind of looks like a slimy green. Okay, you can't wipe it away of any sort. You could only do a dip that hopefully will remove that foreign material. Now, as strange as it may seem, if I hold the coin like this, right above the date, there's like a little small crescent moon area which is unaffected by any of this PVC, which might be that this coin was possibly stored in an environment that had PVC or some other acid type of producing corrosive material on there. So another coin might have been sitting on top of this right here. So that's like a really nice BU little section where that 1938 is. On the reverse, it looks relatively nice and clean. It looks like it is devoid of any sort of PVC. We'll see. But we're going to go ahead and do a full rinse on this one. And that will eliminate all of this PVC on here, okay, and hopefully show a lot of beautiful luster. This coin might actually be a low mint state, like a mint state 61 or 62 example of an error, which by the way is also a repunched mint mark. Nice little extra added bonus on this one. So we're going to go ahead and try it out. And what I'll do is, because I'm interested in seeing this coin, I'm going to go ahead and actually probably more than likely do the dip on this first. So I have a glass container here. You'll want to use glass if you use plastic or styrofoam, the acetone will eat away at that material and then possibly cause more harm on your coin. So we're gonna go ahead and try that out. Again, use caution. I'm wearing my gloves because you don't want this on your skin. Actually, you know what, better yet, I'm gonna start with the 13D because I really want to see that. That one's gonna take a little bit while longer at 10 minutes. So, you'll put enough in there because this stuff will begin to dry. It dissipates. And make sure your container is clean. Just go ahead and pour a nice little amount in there. As you can see, that's how much I have. Again, put this in a well-ventilated area. And we're gonna go ahead and check that out. All right, welcome back. So we have finished up the dip on both coins, and I have a little bit of good news, a little bit of bad news. Okay, you can't win them all, but I figure I'd go ahead and start out with the one coin which had quite a bit of value coming out of the gate, and that's the 1913D Type 2 reverse. And I will say this. So the acetone did its job for one thing, all right? And what it did was it removed a lot of the leftover green verdigris / PVC gunk from these dark spots that you see here. There looks like there's maybe a little bit of traces, but I'm not going to go above and beyond the 10-minute mark. Usually, a coin will have a lot of the contaminants removed at the 10-minute mark. Excuse me, and you wouldn't really need to go any further than that. Okay, what you want to do with a dip is simply remove the surface contaminants. Okay, it's not going to dig down deep into these corroded areas. So that's the bad news on this particular coin. Okay, the PVC has progressed far enough in the process that it has began to do damage on these dark spot areas, and that will affect the coin's value. It's not going to be worth $125. If I sold this raw, sold it on eBay, I'll probably get around half that because it is a key date. Okay, it is an acceptable grade that a lot of people love. Okay, the reverse actually looks pretty good. Okay, that's the one good light at the end of the tunnel for this particular coin. So all is not lost on this one. I would turn around a pretty big profit from my 50-cent investment for this coin. And, if I got 40 to 60 bucks out of this particular example, that would be a pretty good day for that. So that's that one there. Okay, here's the one that I was pretty impressed with the results. A lot of the green film has disappeared. However, because that green film has been on the coin for a while, it has kind of off-toned the rest of the coin. So I would say this example is probably no better than an AU, which is fine, But, this right here, this defective planchet is the big selling point for this coin. So it did remove all of the overlying PVC, but because that film was on there, it has kind of created, a different tone of the coin in comparison to this little spot where you see the date where it wasn't even exposed to PVC at all. So the reverse looks great, lots of luster. The PVC is virtually gone from this. I'm going to get underneath a magnifier and, see if there's anything else. I might do a secondary dip, but usually one dip is all it takes. The coin looks pretty good. It's a nice error coin that's going to go into my collection. But all in all, that is how you treat these PVC afflicted coins. Again, you want to try and treat them as quickly as you can because over time, and usually I would say between that 5 to 10 year mark, you follow a progression in the corrosion process that is irreversible. Okay, so if you come across coins that are in an old collection that are in these flimsy holders that smell like shower curtains, you want to make sure you get those out of there and get them into an archival safe storing solution. So that wraps up this one for this evening. Again, I'm your host, Blue Ridge Silverhound. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and I'm also on Twitter as well. And as always, appreciate all the support. Again, go ahead and hit like on this one if you enjoy the content this evening. Subscribe, Blue Ridge Silverhound. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Okay, and then as always, we are discovering together. That's my new slogan, and one in which, you know, and every video on. Thank you everyone for the great amount of support again. You guys have a fantastic evening, and I'll see you on the next one. Better believe it's going to be tomorrow. All right, you guys take care.